Hi guys, myself Sajid Kumar. I have a 10 year of industrial work experience. I was working with Samsung Research and Development Organization in India. For past 3 years, I have inclined more towards uh, analytical and data processing side. Um, I'll definitely keep sharing with you my overall professional experience, my big data experience with you during the entire session. So today we will emphasize more on big on on Hadoop. What is Hadoop? Hadoop introduction, Hadoop flavors. What are the key parts associated with Hadoop? Hadoop ecosystem. Uh, all those stuff. We will discuss it. So first we'll see what are the agendas. Uh, so guys, today's we will cover introduction to Hadoop. What is Hadoop? Why where Hadoop exists and why is it required. Then we'll see reasons for using Hadoop. Then we'll cover key parts. Then we'll move to basic Hadoop architecture. Then we'll see the modules of Hadoop. Then we'll see merits of Hadoop. Then we will see introduction of HDFS. Guys, Hadoop is a technology, right? And now further if I'll go, the Hadoop has two core components. First is an HDFS, second one is an MapReduce. So here we will take a glimpse of HDFS. What is HDFS? What is a data storage mechanism in HDFS? Then we'll move to towards the basic idea of MapReduce. This is the second component of Hadoop. Then the Hadoop design principle. Then we'll see what are the daemons associated with Hadoop. Then we'll see Hadoop flavors. Then we'll see difference between RDBMS and Hadoop. Then we'll move to characteristic of Hadoop. Then last would be our Hadoop ecosystems. So there are certain components which are associated with Hadoop, and each component have their different functionality and where it exactly fits in Hadoop ecosystem. So we will cover those things in Hadoop ecosystem. So guys, let's start it. Guys, what do you mean by Hadoop, right? So we all know that big data has certain problems. To resolve that problems, Hadoop comes into the picture, right? So Hadoop is a technology. It's an open source framework from Apache. So if we are saying open source means it's license free. You don't need to purchase a expensive license. It's open source means it basically opens all the doors to all the engineers, to all the researchers, so they can use it as per their requirement, right? So but the best part of this Hadoop is that it is basically written in a Java. Okay, so if you're familiar with the Java, then you can easily code and do the development in Hadoop in simply Java. That's it. But the basic requirement is that if you're not familiar with the Java, then still you can do the development in Hadoop by using any of the language. Either it's a C, C++, Perl, anything. But as the framework of the Hadoop is written in a Java, so it's recommended to use to do the development in Hadoop by using Java. Okay. I mean, the prerequisite for the development of Hadoop is that you should know the basic level of basic understanding of Java. That's it. And guys, the second point which has mentioned is Hadoop developed in 2006. Even it defeated supercomputer in 2008. So you can imagine the power of a Hadoop, right? The biggest consumer of Hadoop is a Yahoo and Facebook. These are the biggest consumer of Hadoop. And the fourth point which has mentioned is Hadoop is written in Java, and is basically used for batch offline processing, but user can also write Hadoop in any of the language like C, C++, Perl. And last point is mentioned, Hadoop is used to store process and analyze data which are very huge in volume. So guys, we know that if something is already there in a market, why should I go to the second one, right? Means the something which already exists in a market has certain limitation, has certain restrictions. That's why I'll prefer to use another one, right? Similarly, RDMS is already there, but it has certain limitation in the sense that it cannot be used to store huge data. It cannot be used to store petabytes, terabytes of a data. So here Hadoop comes into the picture, because Hadoop basically store the data in petabytes, in terabytes, right? And the most important part is that Hadoop can be used to store unstructured data, which is not feasible by using RDBMS. So this statement, Hadoop can be scaled up by the addition of nodes in the cluster. Somehow it's difficult for you to understand what do you mean by cluster, what is nodes. So in our next subsequent slide, we'll see what is the architecture of Hadoop. So it would be easier for you to understand what is the exactly meaning of this line, right? You just take an idea like this. We have a provision to scale up the system by adding some nodes. So we have this kind of provision is there. So in our next slide we will understand it thoroughly. So let's move ahead.